when you're building a retirement plan, and this goes back to build an income plan and investment plan, they're all the 5 different plans of retirement: income, investments, taxes, healthcare, and estate planning. They're all related, but income and investments are like brothers, sisters, right? They're so close because we can't really, when someone's building a retirement plan, we can't really build the investment portfolio until we have a plan to cover their income. Meaning, last week, let's say you needed $50,000 a year out of your portfolio, or let's say you needed $100,000 to live, and $50,000 came from Social Security, meaning you needed $50,000 out of your portfolio. Well, the first thing we have to do is position some of your assets to cover that income gap, because you need $50,000 a year. So ideally, we don't want that money coming from every year from high risk stocks, bonds, mutual funds, right? Because then there's a chance that every year when you need more money to supplement, we don't want that to be at a loss, because then you're selling at a loss. And that's one of the worst things you can do in retirement, right? Selling at a loss to cover expenses, because now you have less earning power in those assets. And it's we'll talk about this later, but it's called sequence of returns risk. And it can become devastating into your retirement if it's not planned for. So assuming, right, we have your safety bucket built up we have a cushion for emergencies, the car breaks down, the roof leaks. Let's say there's some money in the bank or whatever that's available if you need it. That's the first step. Next step is to build your income plan. Make sure you have enough assets in the income buckets to make sure we're covering your day-to-day living for the next 5, 7, 10 years, if not longer. Only then can we look at the investments, which is for long-term growth. And you might say, well, I'm 58 or I'm 68 and I don't have time to recover. Well, if we build a plan, we can still make time to have some portion of your assets still invested for the long term, as long as we cover the short and medium term years. So we always like to cover risk from a number of 1 to 99, right? So 1, think of like a speed limit. 1 is all your money in a bank or a savings account, checking account. You're not going to make as much. The upside's not as high. You're not going to lose anything. 99 is having all your money in some new AI stock, right, that just came out. And you could triple your money overnight, or you could lose all your money overnight.
Right.
And so all of our clients have an assigned risk number. So let's say if it's a 35, maybe if the S&P's up 30, you might be up 15, 12. But if it's down 30, maybe you're only down 10 to 12, right? So it's all about making sure each client should know, Matt, what their risk is and what they're comfortable with based on their plan before we can recommend the proper investment strategy.